This is how I went from zero comeback to 30 plus software engineers interviews with one resume change. As a new grad, competing against thousands of applications, I was getting nowhere until I discovered what really makes tech recruiters pay attention. These 5 rules helped me land a job at Microsoft, and today I will break them down step by step. This is the exact resumes that got me on those interviews. This helped me get my first job at Microsoft and later on at TikTok and Amazon as well. I am not someone who tells people how to get jobs for a living. I am just a regular person who studies computer science in college, but I figure out what makes companies want to hire you. Today, I'm going to share 5 simple rules that help me go from zero comeback to more than 30 plus interviews. The best part is this: I did it right after college, where I didn't have much work experience yet. A lot of people who give resume advice doesn't look for jobs in the long term, but I went through this process in recent years. I will show you exactly what worked for me and what didn't. These tips will help you whether you are still in school or want to change jobs. Let's start with rule number 1. Rule number 1. Your resumes look really matters. Do you know that people who look at resumes only spend 7 seconds reading through them? That is super fast. So how do you make sure that they notice you in the few seconds? When I was making my resumes, I saw a lot of fancy templates with colors and cool designs. I almost used one. But then someone who worked at Microsoft gave me a great advice. They said hiring managers don't like fancy resume. They prefer simple ones. My resume is very basic, just black words on a white papers with clear headlines. No colors, no fancy stuff. Why? Because it makes it easier for hiring managers to find what they're looking for. They can quickly see my skills and work experience without getting confused by the designs. So what you should do is put your best stuff first. Once you have the simplest designs, you need to decide what information to put on first. I put my strongest points at the top of my resumes, where everyone would see first. After college, my best selling points was my good grade. I have 3.9 GPAs in computer science and math, and my internships at Microsoft. So I put this at the very top. For you, your best points may be different. Maybe you build amazing projects or earn a special certificate. Whatever you're most proud of, put at the top where it gets noticed first. Show off your projects if you don't have much work experience is my next point here. What if you are just starting out and didn't have much job experience? Don't worry, I didn't have years of work experience either. So I focus on projects I created in schools or in personal projects outside of school. In my resumes, I highlight 3 projects that I did in the past, which is dual code, elastics, and smart finance. For each project, I mentioned that I were a leader, like leading teams of 3 students. Second, I list out the specific computer tools that I use, like building the APIs with Node.js. Then, the result of my work, like 33% of predictions. I also include that my team won a coding competitions, beating 18 other teams. This showed that I could solve hard problems even without much work experience. If you are watching these videos to help get interviews at big tech company, hit the like button and tell me in the comments which part of your resumes need the most help. Next, we go to rule number 2. How you describe your achievement matters a lot. Having the right content in your resumes is just the first step. The way you describe your achievements can make a huge difference in how hiring managers see you. One of the best ways to make your achievements stand out is to add specific numbers. I added numbers throughout my resumes to make my achievements more impressive. Instead of saying develop features, I wrote develop features for 20 plus projects. Instead of saying improve their websites, I wrote enhance user experience and increase site interactions by 20%. Instead of saying building a prediction model, I wrote building models to obtain 93% accurate predictions. Numbers make your accomplishments seem more real and impressive. Even if you don't know the exact numbers, you can give your best guess about how many, how much, or how often. Next, the word you choose can make a big difference. Every bullet point on my resume starts with a powerful action word. Instead of saying I work on an user interface, I wrote design and demonstrate an user interface. Instead of saying I build features, I wrote construct search features. Instead of saying I were in charge of the teams, I wrote lead a team of 4 students. These strong words show your leaderships and skills much better than weak words. They make hiring managers see you as someone who take actions and get things done. But even with great descriptions, your resumes need to get past the computer systems that companies use to filter applications. Do you know that most companies use computer programming to scan resumes before humans can ever see it? These programs look for specific keywords. In my skills sections, I list all the programming language and tool that I knew. Language like Java, JavaScript, Python, HTML, CSS, and SQL. Skills like Node.js, MongoDB, MySQL, AWS, Spring Boot, React.js. Other abilities like Git, data structures, algorithms, AI designs. I only list skills that I actually had and could talk about in interviews, but I make sure to include all of them so the computer scanners would find matches and pass my resumes along to the real people. Now that you know the basics, let me share some special tricks that most people didn't know about. This can really help your resume stand out from others. First, you need to show off your certifications and awards. Adding certifications and awards to your resumes is like having other people vote for your skills. I include certificates that I earned from Microsoft, JP Morgan Chase, and Goldman Sachs. This shows that other people have already recognized my skills. It's like saying, don't just take my word for it. These important organizations think I'm good too. Even if you don't have fancy certificate, include any award or special recognitions that you received. This could be winning a hackathon, getting a scholarship, or being chosen for special programs. Be known for something special. While it is good to have many skills, it's even better to be known as an expert in something specific. While I list many different skills, my projects and experience show that I was especially good at full-stack development, like building websites and data analysis as well. This focus makes me stand out comparing to people who just say that they are general programmers. For you, this may mean showing you are really good at making mobile apps, or working with cloud computing, or machine learning, or whatever areas that you love the most. Being known for something specific makes you more memorable and valuable to companies looking for that particular skills. All the parts in your resumes should work together to tell the stories about you. When someone reads my resumes from start to finish, let's tell a clear story about me. I scored a good student with high grade. I got practical experience throughout internships at Microsoft or APT Software. I built internship projects like Dual Code or Elastics. I improved my skills by winning programming competitions. So your resumes should tell stories about who you are, what you can do, and where you want to go in your career. These stories make you memorable and help hiring manager understand why they should hire you. Now that I have shared all my tips, you may be wondering how to apply them to your own resumes. Here is a simple guide to help you create resumes to get interviews. The first step is to choose a simple design. Don't use fancy designs. Use a simple, clear template with clear sections and no bright colors or strange layout. You can even start with a completely blank document and create header for contact information, your names, email, phone numbers, educations, experience, programs, projects, skills, certificate, award, and more things. A simple design makes your information easy to find and read. Before you start writing, think about what makes you special. Make a list of your strongest selling points. This could be your education and grade, working experience, or projects you build, award that you won, special skills that you have. Rank this from the strongest to the weakness. Your top 2 or 3 points should go at the beginnings of your resumes, where they will be noticed first. Now, it is time to describe your experience. For each job, internships, or projects, write 3 or 4 bullet points that start with a strong action verb, like create, develops, designs, lead. Include specific numbers like how many, how much, what percentage. Mention specific tools or skills that you use in the project. Explain the results or impacts of your work. A bad example here is help with the company's website. Some good examples like this: we designed the company's website using HTML and CSS. which increased visitor times by 25%. The second example tells the hiring manager exactly what you did and how well you did it. Next, make a complete list of all the technical skills you have. This helps both computer systems and humans to see what you know. Include programming language, softwares and tools, platform, methodologies, only list skills that you actually know and could talk about in an interview. Be honest is important because you may be asked about these skills during interview. If you are just starting out like I was, focus on impressive projects. Project can show your skills even if you haven't had many jobs yet. For each project, you can explain what problems is solved, list the technologies you use, mention if you work in the teams and what role you was, share any measurable results if possible, include a link to where they can see the project online. This gives proof that you can actually build things that works. To make your resumes even stronger, include any formal recognition you have received. This could include professional certificate, academic honors, competitions wins, special programs you have been selected for. This serves as proof that others value your skills and making hiring managers more likely to trust your abilities. Finally, read through your whole resumes and make sure it tells a consistent stories about you. Ask yourself, does this clearly show what I'm good at? Are my strongest points easy to find? Does this paint as clear pictures of who I am as a professional? Will someone understand my career path and goals from reading this? Make sure everything works together to tell consistent stories about who you are and why you would be the valuable to this company. So, this simple piece of paper changed my life by getting me interviewed at top tech companies like Microsoft, Amazon, and TikTok. It can do the same thing for you too. Remember these 5 main rules. Keep your resume clean and simple. Put the strongest point first. Use numbers to show your accomplishments. Start bullet points with strong action verb. Tell clear stories about yourself. I have created a step-by-step guide and checklist that walk you through applying this rule to your own resumes. It includes templates and examples that have worked for my followers. So click on the links in the description below to download it for free. And let me know in the comments which rules was the most helpful for you. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe to my channels, and I will see you in the next video.